before the day ends, I just want to say a big old happy birthday to Supernatural. You know how I know I was destined to be mentally ill? Because this show came out on my first birthday. What is simultaneously very cursed, but also my biggest flex, is the fact that I share a birthday with the show whose fandom had the first Omega-verse fic. One more birthday wish before the day ends. Happy birthday to Scooby-Doo. I think there is a real correlation with Scooby-Doo being my first hyperfixation and me ending up the way that I did. And then, of course, add on the fact that I was born on Scooby-Doo's 35th anniversary. Happy 55th birthday, Scooby-Doo. Yes, you heard correctly. Scooby-Doo, myself, and Supernatural have the same birthday. In that order: Scooby-Doo, September 13th, 1969, me, September 13th, 2004, Supernatural, September 13th, 2005. Is everyone starting to understand why I'm like this? Is it all coming together? Fuck men. I'm trying!
To share the thoughts you had on our History Hits Lovers video.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Loved it.
Great video.
Nailed it.
Nothing in there that two totally platonic best friends wouldn't get up to.
Here we go. Ow, why would you do that? That's for the lies.
I don't know.
And historians will call them close friends, besties, roommates, colleagues, anything but lovers. History hates lovers, sidekicks, family, good pals, buddies, anything but lovers. History hates lovers.
God, I can't believe this guy plays Cass. What did you find now? So much. People love this guy. Really? If you search up his name on the internet, you just find, like, hundreds of video compilations of him. Not just Cass, like, him. Behind the scenes, at panels, and just random stuff that he probably posts. Huh. And a lot of the clips he's talking about Castiel, too. I thought Supernatural wasn't very popular. Well, Dean, the show's been going on for over 10 years. I don't think that's the case anymore. Wait, when did Misha show up on the show? God. 2008? God, who wants to watch Us for 10 years? From the looks of it, a lot of teenage girls? What? That's what it seems like. Oh my god. What? Guys, Cass was introduced into the show in season 4, and I was introduced in season 13. This show is crazy long. Season 13? Yeah, and it's still going. The episodes are like 45 minutes long. Alright. Okay. Cass, what'd you find? Well, apparently fans of the series like to write their own versions of the stories. Oh, you let him research that part of the internet? I didn't let him do anything! Cass, what? Well, apparently Misha likes to do it too. Come again? It was on his laptop. I mean, I guess he's a writer. I mean, to be fair, it seems like the writers of the show really give Misha the short end of the stick a lot of the time. I don't know. I mean, Cass seems to be pretty popular, but I don't know, some of the things these people in interviews say to Misha is kind of crazy. Like, what? I found this clip of, I think it was one of the writers, saying that they cut a scene from one of the episodes because it was a Misha scene, and Misha scenes aren't very important. Cass scenes aren't very important? I just got a comment on Instagram on one of my Stucky videos that said, why do people tear apart the lore to fit their own narrative? And they said, if you're gonna write a fanfic, at least write the lore into it. Do you know what fanfiction is? Genuine question. Do you know what fanfiction is? Fanfic becoming more mainstream is literally just ruining fanfic at this point. And that's not me, like, trying to, like, gatekeep fan fiction. It's just like, people need to learn to have fucking fun. I want to write the Avengers like they're in a fucking sitcom where they all get along and they're silly. I'ma do that. Because that's more fun for my brain to think about than all the shit that they go through in the comics and movies and shows. Like, I just want them to be happy, man. I understand why, from like a narrative standpoint, why they're not in the canon media, but that's literally what fanfiction is for. So they can be funny and silly and do dumb shit together, okay? Like, I want them to be silly like the Teen Titans in the show from like the early 2000s specifically, okay? I want to see them all collectively wear one of the others' costumes and being like, damn, this mask makes me feel cool, and then the one who wears it coming in and being like, it makes me feel cool too. That's what I want, okay? Alongside the serious stuff, of course. You know, Raven confiding in her friends and teammates that she is the daughter of the demon Trigon and was literally created to be a portal. But also being able to, like, basically die and come back and say to Beast Boy, blue is still my favorite color and don't get used to the smile because you're still not funny. That's the type of dynamic I want with the Avengers, and I don't give a shit if it doesn't make sense. In my little brain, that's what makes me happy. Beast Boy, Raven, and Cyborg seeing Robin and Starfire kiss and saying it's about damn time, which canonically happens in the movie from like 2007, I think. Whatever movie. The one where they went to Tokyo. That's the energy I want for Steve and Bucky. And I'm allowed to do that, because that's the whole fucking point of fanfiction. Hey, Buck, I have a question for you about this last call. What? That girl that came up to you at the end? What about her? Well, just what was that all that about? Oh, she just tried to ask me out. No, I knew that. But why did you tell her you were already dating someone? What? Oh, I mean... Did she ask more than once? Because, like, you didn't have to lie to turn her down. What? Like, she wasn't harassing you, right? No? Okay, so, wait, why did you tell her you were already dating someone? Because I am. You've never mentioned seeing someone. How long has this been going on? Few weeks? You knew about this? What? You did. And you didn't tell any of us. I thought you guys already knew. Well, clearly not. Tell us more, Buck. Ugh. This is not over. Okay. They really have no idea. I thought it was so obvious we didn't have to tell them. Well, it should be. Should we just tell them? Well, we could. Oh no, you got that look in your eyes. You want to mess with them. A little bit. Alright, tell me the plan. Hey, Chris? Do you have a second? Yeah, Dad, what's up? Okay. I need to tell you something kind of important. Uh-huh. And, I want you to know I'm trying really hard to be better. So when I tell you this, I want you to know I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that this whole thing doesn't, traumatize me. Well, yeah, among other things. So you're dating someone again? Well, yes. And it's not someone who is identical to my dead mom? No, that was... Yeah, just... a mistake. Okay. I gotta admit, Dad, I'm kind of scared. You haven't been this nervous telling me about someone you're dating probably since you were dating Anna. Yes, well, this is someone you already know. Oh? Yeah, and I want you to know, no matter what happens, this person cares about you. Okay? So, whatever happens with us, they will still be in your life, okay? You get that? Okay, Dad, who are you dating? Buck. What? I'm dating Buck. You're dating Buck. Yeah, and like I said, Buck's been my friend for years. He's known you for years. He's your godfather. No matter what happens, he's gonna continue being in our life, okay? It's just, it might be a little different now. And hopefully that changes for the better. Ugh, oh my god. Look, Chris, it took you guys long enough. Wait, what? My hair is shorter than it's been in probably a year, maybe longer. It's kind of hard to tell because my hair has a lot of layers and it's curly. But yeah, I don't think it's been this short since at least 2023 and potentially 2022. It's very odd. I didn't do this on purpose. I was just trimming my hair, and then I just was kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna commit to the bit. Plus, I'm gonna be wearing a bunch of wigs this weekend. So I was like, I'm gonna cut it so that my hair goes under the wigs a little bit easier. And now it's really short. It's not like bad. I'm just getting used to it. It's especially because I touch my hair a lot as a stim, so I'm very aware of how short it is. So I feel like it doesn't look like as dramatic of a change as it actually is because my hair has a lot of layers in it, but like it's quite a bit. I did cut off quite a bit of hair and it's quite a bit shorter than it has been. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I haven't had it this short since like I first started parting it in the middle, which would have been like September 2022. I didn't intentionally cut it this short. I don't even know at what point I realized I was cutting it shorter than I normally do and just decided to commit to the bit. But yeah, my hair is shorter now. Listen, me too. At first, I was very firmly on the side of Alpha Bucky and Omega Steve makes way more sense. And then I read a lot of Omega Verse fics. And also, I read a lot of comics. I think in the movie, having it start off with Bucky being an alpha and Steve being an omega, and then the serum changing Steve so he's an omega, or alternatively him not presenting as anything until after this serum. And then for either having an alpha-alpha pairing with them, or Alpha Steve, Alpha Bucky, and then, you know, the whole kidnapping with Hydra and brainwashing. Given everything that they put him through, I wouldn't put it past them to also bitch Bucky. So then, by the time you get to the 21st century, it's Alpha Steve, Omega Bucky. I will say, especially during, like, the 1940s and stuff, before the serum and everything, I think that Beta Bucky and then, like, I think Beta Bucky and Alpha Steve, pre-serum makes a lot of sense in general, especially with, like, Bucky constantly getting Steve out of shit. Comics are a different story, though. Same thing as, like, how if you can't randomly text your best friend, do you think Alpha Steve and Omega Bucky or Omega Steve and Alpha Bucky make more sense? I randomly texted him while I was reading one of the comics. I don't even remember what comic it was, and I was like, I'm starting to see the Omega Bucky train, and I'm starting to understand. But I think specifically in the movies, it makes a lot of sense to have Steve either not present as anything or be an Omega, and then Bucky either be a Beta or an Alpha, because especially with you know, the typical gender roles that Alphas and Omegas will, like, assume in stories, it would make a lot of sense that Steve, along with his, like, poor health, would also be struggling to enlist because of his designation. And then Bucky being drafted. Bucky was literally drafted. I don't think they were drafting Omegas into the war. In my brain, I don't think it makes sense that they would be drafting Omegas into the war. That's just what the typical, like, Omega-verse and, like, roles of Alphas and Omegas you tend to see. Obviously, there are no rules in the Omega-verse, so anything can happen. But yeah, I've read it a bunch of different ways, and every single way has been quite intriguing. The only thing, though, is that as much as I am much more for the, like, Omega Bucky train than I was before, a lot of the time, like, especially the more popular, like, fics you read with Omega Bucky, a lot of them just, they just, the disrespect they put on Bucky's name. Like, that's my pet peeve with it. And to be fair, they do it with Steve, but I feel like they do it more with Bucky because of the whole, like, Winter Soldier thing, where they just, the way that they write him is just so pathetic. Like, that's the best way I can put it. I'm like, this is a man who went through decades of torture. He was drafted into World War II and was kidnapped and experimented on, and then fell off a train, lost his arm, and then was again kidnapped for 70 years. Don't write him to be, like, a pathetic damsel in distress that needs rescuing, even though, like, Bucky does in the movies tend to assume the role of damsel in distress. Like, one of my favorite Stucky Omegaverse fics is actually a fic with Omega Bucky, where he gets kidnapped, and then he breaks himself out, and, like, Steve and, like, the rest of the Avengers show up, and he just comes out, and he's like, where the fuck have you been? Like, that's the Bucky I know and love. Like, yes, I will acknowledge the moments, like, in the Winter Soldier movie where he's sitting there silently and just, like, saying, but I knew him. That's, like, a moment where I guess, like, you can interpret the soft side of Bucky, the best way to put it is how my best friend described it, is a traumatized soft boy. I see that, like, when you see that, and I kind of get the vision y'all are getting, but, like, also, come on. He also was, like, never an introvert, either. The only time he ever seems to be, like, reserved and doesn't really want to talk to people is, like, after he is abandoned by the one person who was his constant in his life, after being forced to do countless horrible things to people for 70 years and had no autonomy whatsoever. Like, that's when you see him being an asshole and being, like, keeping to himself and just, like, not accepting companionship, i.e., you know, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But that wasn't who he was, and I know that we don't get to see a lot of Bucky before the war, but we still do see some of it. And also, keep in mind what you see at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. While they did not do him justice in the MCU whatsoever, it's still worth noting that he is more outgoing by the end of that series. But yeah, that was my main issue with Omega Bucky, so anytime I read Omega Bucky, that's what I got. But then I read the Fool in the Mirror, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, this is how Bucky would be as an Omega. I see the vision now. I see the vision now. Gaslight gatekeep girl bossing his way out of prison. Only to literally run into Steve and the rest of the Avengers and being like, where the fuck have you guys been? That one quote, incorrect quote of the, we have your boyfriend. You have Bucky? Yes. Good luck with that. Or the, you don't have him, he has you. Good luck. That's my boy. At least that's how I interpret him.
We got daddy issues, chaos junkie. Mommy issues, more daddy issues, obnoxious asshole issues. Then you seem kind of weirdly self-actualized as far as I can tell.
And I have a problem. I don't know who else to talk to about this. But I think you'll understand. Okay. What's going on, Buck? Okay, you know how I went to play basketball? I was a jackass and Eddie got hurt. Yeah, I heard about that. But what does this have to do with me? Okay, well, I felt bad, so I talked to Maddie about it. And I kind of realized that the reason that all of that happened was because I was just trying to get Eddie's attention. Alright. So, Tommy came over to talk to me because apparently Eddie feels bad that I hurt him, because of course he does. But, I was saying how I said to Tommy that I did it because I was trying to get Tommy's attention. Wait, I thought it was to get Eddie's attention? See, okay. I thought it was because I was trying to get Tommy's attention. But the thing is Tommy's cool and all. I didn't like that I was losing time with Eddie. And I was scared of losing Eddie. And I've realized that now. Okay, Buck, what happened? Tommy kissed me. What? I told him that everything that happened was because I was trying to get his attention, and then I guess he interpreted that as you know, I was trying to get his attention, you know? And so he kissed you? Yes! He didn't ask. He just went for it. Yeah. Are you okay? Yeah, why? That's not what you're freaking out about? No. The thing is like, kissing Tommy wasn't bad. Okay, but it kind of was. Okay, Buck, take a second. I'm gonna stay right here. Take a second to collect your thoughts, because I'm very confused right now. Okay. Okay. So kissing a man wasn't bad, but the thing is the man that I want to kiss is Eddie. Okay, that was a lot of words. Do you want to kiss Eddie? It's very late to be posting this. Literally, there's less than 40 minutes left in the day, but 16 years ago today, Supernatural aired its first episode of season 4, where they introduced objectively the best character and probably most undervalued character in the show. Castiel, my beloved. I drew that, funnily enough, when I was 16. You can't see it, but it says I'm an angel, you ass. Also, I don't have a lot of mugs. I'm growing my mug collection. But I have 2 mugs for Castiel. I have this one that says ass butt, and my people skills are rusty. And then I have one that has a little cartoon picture of Cass that just says Castiel, Angel of the Lord. It's not here, it's at my dad's house. And I got that when I was 16. I got this one I can say I got this one when I was 19. It was only a couple months ago, but I did get that one when I was 19, and I'm no longer 19. But yeah, that scene altered my brain chemistry. Iconic character introductions. He wins every single time. I think, yeah, he's the first character I experienced gender envy for to the extent that I cosplayed him. And if the tattoo I had in my brain for Castiel wasn't so big and expensive, it would have been my first tattoo. Because it's been in my brain since I was 16, and now I'm 20, and I have 4 tattoos, and none of them are for Castiel. It had to be a big-ass back piece that I am set on getting. Castiel, I miss you every day. Every day since Despair aired, I've missed you. I navigated AO3 for the first time primarily reading Destiel fics. Like, it's the first big fandom I read fanfiction for on AO3. So really, who would I be without Castiel? Happy birthday, Cass. The character I was so obsessed with at 16, I spent hours of time and energy trying to learn how to do his voice. Which, every single time I make a video as Cass, I get comments on, because all the gender envy I experienced for Cass, both in appearance and voice-wise, made me set on being able to do a voice similar to his. Is it terrible? And every time that I try to do it, I consider T just so I can get it as low as him. Yes. But you know what? People literally have actively told me since I started making Supernatural videos that I have a good Cass voice. So, a win is a win. A win is a win. And it all starts from me doing the things that I learned how to do when I learned how to do a Britney Spears impression and saying, "Hello, Dean."
What's the straightest thing you've ever done?
I killed a guy.
What did you do? I said distract them, not knock them out.
There's just no pleasing you sometimes.